Just a couple of hours ago, the voters in the state of Iowa have spoken up, and they have given Donald Trump as the state's official winner of the first caucus or primary in the United States. Now, as you can see here, Trump easily won the election with 51% of the vote against Ron DeSantis, his nearest challenger, at just 21%. He is on track to win by around 30 points. Now, pretty much all the vote has been counted right now, so these results are effectively final. Now, what we saw here was that Trump pretty much met people's expectations on him. Trump was expected to win around 50% of the vote. Trump got 51%. Most people, including myself, expected Nikki Haley to be in second place, but she was in third with 19.1% of the vote. This was a slightly disappointing finish for her. She needed at least around 25% to have any momentum, but it wasn't that surprising. We all knew that Nikki Haley was not going to win the state of Iowa. Now, Ron DeSantis did slightly better than the polls, but he did not do nearly as well as he needed to in order to have a remote chance of really staying out in this primary for a pretty substantial amount of time. Now, my prediction gave Trump 20 delegates, Nikki Haley 9 delegates, Ron DeSantis 8 delegates, and Vivek Ramaswamy 3 delegates. As of right now, there are 2 delegates that are not allocated. Trump will probably win 21 delegates. Ron DeSantis will probably win 8, Nikki Haley will probably win 8, and Vivek Ramaswamy will probably win 3. So my delegate count wasn't that off. But what I was off on was the county map. I thought that Nikki Haley was going to win counties like Polk County, Story County, and I think that's Ron DeSantis was going to win counties like Dallas County or Scott County. Looks like that those things did not happen. Now, overall, the takeaway here is that it was a disappointment for Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, although Ron DeSantis did slightly overperform the expectations, and it was a great night for Donald Trump. Now, this is the Iowa precinct map. You can see that Iowa City. This is the one county, which is Johnson County, that gave Nikki Haley a 1-vote lead. But nevertheless, she still ended up winning by one of the counties. We saw that Vivek Ramaswamy did not have a desirable night. He actually dropped out immediately after the results were announced. You can see here that Cedar Rapids, right? This was an area that had a lot of vote in this election, and it all overwhelmingly went to Donald Trump. Des Moines here, we saw that Vivek Ramaswamy won 11 votes. He won 1 precinct here, but we saw that Trump also did tremendously well, though we did see that Nikki Haley did do pretty well in some of the urban regions around Iowa City, around Cedar Rapids, as well as around the Amos region. However, again, this was not a desirable performance for either Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis. Now we see that Trump did very well across the board here, but you see that Nikki Haley, she did pretty well in some of the city areas, and Ron DeSantis, he also did pretty well in the city areas, though not nearly as well as he needed to do. So in the lower income regions here, not much of a surprise. We saw that Trump won by an overwhelming 40% plus margin. Now, higher income areas are interesting. 16% of primary voters live in higher income areas, and Trump only won by 8%. This was not a surprise. We saw that Nikki Haley did pretty well with that group, but nonetheless not enough to win the state, obviously. Areas with fewer college graduates voted for Trump by more than 50%, right? He got 66% of the vote in that demographic. But areas with more college graduates, that was where Trump lacked, and that was where Nikki Haley did pretty well. Generally, Republicans in suburban areas were more hesitant to back Trump, but they still backed Trump by more than 20 percentage points. Rural areas, which is 40% of the electorate, actually backed Trump with about 60% of the vote. We see that Trump did much better than he did in 2016, but that's to be expected. Now, Trump again did very well with the lower income regions, but not as well with the higher income regions. We saw that again, right? Now, for DeSantis' support, he really didn't have a strength, which is concerning. Population density, he did not do well, really, in any of the demographics. While for Haley, she did pretty well in some of the urban and suburban regions, as well as areas with more college-educated voters. But nonetheless, this is just a abysmal performance for both these candidates. And Ramaswamy, again, right, someone who has already dropped out, which is good for Trump because Ramaswamy voters are probably people who support Donald Trump. Overall, Trump will probably walk out the convention, considering Vivek Ramaswamy's 3 delegates, he's going to get 24 delegates total. We're probably going to see Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley both get 8 delegates. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.